Boom! It's so sunny here today in the deserts of Arizona. But today we're going to be looking at something a little dark, a little mysterious, a little primal even. That's right, folks. Sangre De Drago. Today, on another edition of Douglas Smythe from FinishShaving.com's Product Spotlight. Stay tuned.
You'll be the life of the party. You'll be the life of the party.
Well, folks, you are in for a treat here. This, my friends, is something else. If you don't know Sangre De Drago, you need to. If you don't have this in your collection, you need to. If you're an oud fan, you need it. But it's more than oud. It's a lot more than oud. In fact, I kind of throwing people for a loop here. On the label, I have Sangre De Drago with sandalwood and oud. And I did that assuming that everyone knows what dragon's blood is. Turns out not everyone knows what dragon's blood is. So people think this is just sandalwood and oud, this scent. But it's not. As I'm stating in big letters, it's dragon's blood resin. And then sandalwood and oud. So, what is dragon's blood? I'm glad you asked. Dragon's blood is a resin, or if you will, the blood of the rattan tree. Or palm tree. It's a palm from Southeast Asia. It grows in tropical and subtropical places. And they pretty much bleed these trees and collect this stuff. And it oozes red, like blood. It could easily be confused for dragon's blood, if such things existed. But they let it harden, it turns into this resinoid, or they use the liquid, or they liquefy it. But that's what it is, and it's this magical red, brilliant liquid, or resinoid, that it does wonders to any scent. And I'm using it to... and there's a plane going by. Don't mind me, folks. I'm just getting lost in the scent of Sangre De Drago. It pulls you in. If scent is a time machine, this is it, folks. Sangre De Drago. Not De Draco, not with a C. Drago, like dragon, like dragon's blood, folks. And I've kind of confused people with this label. First of all, the font's weird. It's a Hitchcock-style font. I'm a huge fan of Alfred Hitchcock, and I was going for that spooky type Hitchcockian vibe, if you will. So I use that font. And the G's kind of look like C's, so constantly you see people writing Sangre De Draco. Yeah. But it's actually Sangre De Drago in big letters, and then below it says with sandalwood and oud. So people often think that Sangre De Drago is just the name of the soap, and it's made up of sandalwood and oud. And that couldn't be farther from the truth. It's my fault. Sangre De Drago is actually the scent. It's dragon's blood. It's this resinoid that is derived from the rattan palm tree, native to Southeast Asia. It's actually grown in tropical climates and subtropical climates at this point in history, but it's this red oozing liquid that comes out of the tree when this tree is sliced. It can turn, if you let it sit, it'll harden into this resinoid, which can be used in perfuming, or the liquid can be used. But really magical, potent, strong stuff, fruity almost, but dark. It's a complex scent in itself, and it's tough to describe, but you'll notice like a fruity note on top of this, and it pairs so well with the oud. But the oud, the sandalwood is underneath, not as high in content. I will say, though, though people are confusing this, I kind of did something cool here inadvertently, because the species that's the most common species, there are a couple species of dragon's blood trees, but the most common one used is it's the Demoropsis Draco. So when you write Draco, you're actually not that far from the truth, because that's what it is. It's genius. But anyways, back to this. So let me give you the scent notes. Dragon's blood, oud, and sandalwood right on top. They blend really well together. That fruity note, though, it's the dragon's blood and the oud doing a dance together. Benzoin resin, tonka bean, linaloe wood, spruce hemlock wood, amyris, tobacco absolute, labdanum, and sage. Labdanum and sage appears in the aftershave, however, and not necessarily in the soap. Not as potent, anyways. But as you can tell by that list, there's a lot of woody notes in here. And it's that dark, steadfast, bold scent. Great on a hot summer night. This is great any night. This like you got a hot date or whatnot. I wouldn't advise wearing this to church because it's sexy, folks. Straight up sexy. Although I have heard people do. Yeah, I can't say enough good things about this one. This is definitely unique. Definitely a force to be reckoned with when it comes to the scents that are now in your collection. If you don't own Sangre De Drago, you need to. It really is. It's mysterious. I know that's just such a vague word these days, but it truly is mysterious. Yeah, that's all I got. All I can say is you need this in your collection, folks. Sangre De Drago, ask for it by name. And if you comment below, like today's show, and subscribe if you don't already, you could win this and the matching aftershave. It's as simple as that, folks. Just enter our giveaway. Until next time, folks, this has been another product spotlight. Sangre De Drago with your friends Douglas Smythe and PhoenixShaving.com. Until next week, saludos.